Hey guys, it's James Ballard from wildwings.co.uk, and now you're having a look at the last two intermediate tutorials, and these are actually quite advanced manoeuvres, so you might need to watch a few times, you might need to do quite a bit of practice to get these, but if you're getting to this point in your flying now, you're really becoming quite an advanced pilot. So first of all, well done. So let's go into what is the rolling circle. So we've already gone through the slow roll, the 4-point roll and the fast roll, and the left and right circuits. Now we're going to put them all together, and to start with, just do a roll, but rolling around the circuit. So it's going to look like that, and that's going to be our rolling circle. We want the plane to be nice and flat, because if it's at a 45 degrees, that becomes a rolling Harrier. They're much more complicated, and there's a tutorial for that in the advanced section. But for now, we just want to keep the plane nice and level. So let's go back to how we do our slow roll. So every 90 degrees, even though we're not stopping because that's the 4-point roll, although we can add that in later, we're going to put in a new correction. So rudder and knife edge, elevator in flat level flying. So as we do this, this keeps us level, and before we kept it in the same line by applying one surface, so applying rudder when taking off the elevator and applying elevator when taking off the rudder. And you do it all at the same time, take off one as you put on the other, and that keeps it in the same line. But now what we want to do is we want to do it in a circle. So what we're going to do is we're going to start flying into wind parallel to us. That's the easiest way to start this manoeuvre. And then I'm going to teach you how to roll away from you. And what I mean by away from you is if you're rolling left, you're going to be turning right. And if you're rolling right, you're going to be turning left. Now you can also do it where you're rolling left and turning left. And I'll go through that in a minute, but that's a bit more complicated. So let's start by rolling left and turning right in a right-hand circuit. And that's what we're going to look at. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start the roll with the ailerons. So left aileron roll, correct with your rudder, correct with your elevator. But this time, what we're going to do is we're going to correct a bit earlier. So we're going to start turning, and at our 90 degrees, you do need your rudder to keep it in this knife edge. However, now we're going to start applying the down elevator early. So whereas before we only applied the down elevator when we got to the level flight again, this time we're going to apply our down elevator now so that it brings it round in this circle, because this is what's going to bring it round. So rudder, so left aileron roll means right rudder. Then you want down elevator to bring it round to this point. Now remember, you're still rolling, so at this point it now goes to inverted. And while you're inverted, whereas before we had no rudder, now we're going to have some rudder, because it's the rudder that's going to turn us around. So let's think what that rudder might be. Let's go back and go left aileron roll means it's going to be right rudder to start with. Then you go into inverted, which means it's going to be left rudder. So instead of waiting to turn an extra 90 degrees to apply the rudder, we're now going to keep the down elevator on a bit to make sure the nose isn't dropping, and we're going to apply the left rudder now to keep going around in this circular motion. And this is going to take us to this point. And at this point we can now do the same thing again, where we apply the opposite rudder, so this would be the right rudder, to keep it in level flying, and we're going to apply up elevator to keep it round in the circle. Now you don't have to be really violent with the sticks and use lots of movement, because if you do that, yes, you will still turn in the circle if you're quick enough, but it will be a very tight circle, and this move looks more impressive as a nice wide circle. So do a nice slow roll, correcting at each 90 degrees, but remember to add in the correction early so that it starts turning it in a circle, as well as correcting, as well as keeping it level and not dipping. So you do that all the way around and keep that going, and that is basically the rolling circle. So now let's have a look with the transmitter and see if I can show you the sort of stick movements we're going to be looking at. Again, it's always good to go back to your basics and think, right, what do I want to put on first? It's going to be the aileron. And don't feel stupid doing this, because this is how I learned, this is how everybody learns to do each move in the first place. So you start with about half to 3/4 power as you're coming in level flight. Then a little bit of up elevator, just to make sure the nose doesn't dip in your roll. Apply your left aileron roll like that. As you roll over, you're going to have right rudder, so left aileron, right rudder, and now we're going to go up with the down elevator. So notice I've still got the right rudder on, and I have the left aileron and the down elevator. That's going to start it turning. So once you've gone over now, so let's go back with our plane. So we've gone left aileron roll, we've now got the down elevator and the right rudder. So it's going to bring it round to this point. Now at this point we want down elevator to stay on, but left rudder. So we've got left aileron, right rudder, down elevator, now left rudder. Now we're going to want to bring the down elevator off and up elevator, then right rudder, then down elevator, then left rudder, then up elevator, then right rudder, down elevator, like this, keeping the power constant, and then switching between the surfaces like that. And that's going to get us going in this circular motion. So let's have a look at some footage now and see how that goes. So have a look at the transmitter at the bottom of the screen, because this will help to show you the transmitter movements that I showed you earlier. You want to try and find a nice pace to perform this manoeuvre. You don't want to be moving the sticks too fast, because if you go too fast you're more likely to shoot off at a different angle. So try and ease yourself into a nice rhythm, because eventually what you want to be doing is not looking at the plane and saying, oh, which surface should I be using now? Because your fingers are already doing that for you. Your right thumb will be going up and down, and your left thumb will be going left to right, left to right. So the only decision you'll have to make is, do I need to do this set of movements quicker or slower in order to keep the plane rolling in a circle? And as always, try performing this manoeuvre rolling clockwise and anti-clockwise.